Guys, welcome in to a special edition of the Ben Garcia Show. We have our new head coach, Jordan Ott, is in. Everyone else is out. We're going to talk about it all next.
The Ben Garcia Show. Yeah. Woo. Best show in the land. Yup. Listen. Come and get your information from Ben Garcia. Get the latest on your quarterback, running backs, and receivers. Tune in, so any other show you don't need them. Any news that he giving out, please just believe him. Giving out the latest prediction and top-notch analysis. Wanna hear the truth, better have thick skin like calluses. The latest move that your team just made can be damaging. The dudes ain't speaking no facts, they just be rambling. Lights, camera, action, turn on the show, go get the cameraman. Yeah. Lights, camera, action, turn on the show, go get the cameraman. The Ben Garcia Show.
What is up, guys? Welcome into yet another edition of the Ben Garcia Show. Listen, man, all I can do is laugh at this point. I apologize. Little less prepared for this edition of the Ben Garcia Show because it's breaking news. It's a special edition of the Ben Garcia Show. So before we dive into it, get into my opening remarks, my reaction to the Phoenix Suns hiring Jordan Ott as their new head coach, their new head honcho, which is honestly at this point just kind of funny. Let's talk about it, but follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show. That's where you can see me do a lot of my work on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, any of those platforms. Follow me there at Ben Garcia Show. And do me a favor, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out more than you guys will ever know. All right, let's talk about it. The Phoenix Suns have hired Jordan Ott as their new head honcho, their new head coach for the Phoenix Suns. And listen, this is more of just a reactionary thing. I'm not going to dive super deep into Jordan Ott right now. I'm going to go 15 minutes, give you guys my authentic reaction, let you guys understand why I'm not belly aching or freaking out or, pearl clutching because it's an MSU grad. I'm going to save a lot of that for Locked On Suns, but I wanted to take a second to react to the Phoenix Suns making, let's call it what it is, a fairly expected hire, with that being Jordan Ott as the new Suns head coach. I'm going to reiterate some of the things that I've said before. Jordan Ott is more than qualified for this job. I know you want to be frustrated and angry, but it's like I said a couple of days ago on the Ben Garcia Show, which is life is kind of what you make of it. If you want to see good things throughout your day, you're going to see more good things. But if you're looking for bad things, you're probably going to see more bad things. So there's a large sum of Suns fans that are frustrated. They don't want this guy to have the job. They see MSU grad and they're like, yeah, we're out on that. And who could blame them? Brian Gregory, not qualified for this job. It feels like Mat Ishbia, for some reason, is still someone that is living in the past, really just invested in his time in Michigan State. And that's okay. Listen, Jordan Ott is dealt a really crappy hand. And I feel bad for him a little bit because he is someone who doesn't deserve to be just mauled by fans who are frustrated because he got the job. Listen, man, I don't have a ton of sourcing, so I don't want to phrase it as that. But I am someone I am connected. I am decently connected. I'm not going to lie to you and act like I'm Evan Sidery and DeColdis and whoever it is that lies about being an insider. That's not me. But I know people that cover those teams, and I've asked him about them. And my guy Danny Cunningham from Locked On Cavs has told me he loves Jordan Ott. He does think Johnny Bryant is more NBA ready, and who wouldn't think that? Johnny Bryant has been the lead assistant for the Cavs for like 5 years now. He is more than ready for the job. But Jordan Ott had a lot of say in the Cavaliers' offense, and he seems like a real grinder. He's someone that has gone to a bunch of different spots, been the assistant coach at a bunch of different places, worked his way up through the ranks. This is someone who is qualified for the job. You just might not be thrilled that he got the job, and that's okay. You're allowed to be upset about that. But he's more than qualified for the job. And as my guy Aaron in the chat points out, hey, listen, it could have been Doc Rivers. Now, that's not necessarily where I want to go with the conversation of like, I can't believe this is who they hired, but it could have been worse. Johnny Bryant was probably the better hire. Let's just call it what it is. And if I'm being honest, Jordan Ott wasn't in my top 5 of candidates. I wanted Chris Quinn, Sean Sweeney, Johnny Bryant all over Jordan Ott. But I see the vision. I do see the vision. And my guy Zach in the chat, just got to see what happens. I don't want to see what happens with Brian Gregory. Because at the end of the day, he wasn't qualified for the job. 0 qualifications to be the general manager of Phoenix Suns team, to be the general manager of any NBA team. But Jordan Ott, he's got the qualifications. He's been an assistant coach for a long time. I don't know how much the Michigan State thing played into it, but knowing Mat Ishbia, knowing Brian Gregory, it probably played a massive role in it. And if you're just being honest, at this point, we do know who runs the team. Like if you had any other thoughts or concerns of who maybe is running the team, Bartelstein, Gregory, it's Mat Ishbia. It's Mat Ishbia. And we know that now. I knew that already. But if you were someone that was sitting on the fence about it, you now know. Mat Ishbia is running the team. This is a Michigan State, for better or for worse, team. And listen, you could emulate worse colleges. I mean, you could mimic Rutgers or Dayton or Arizona State University basketball. Listen, Michigan State's got a national championship. They're always in the tournament. Been to a bunch of Final Fours. There are worse things that you could emulate. And hey, if we're talking about alignment, the Suns told you, they didn't lie to you. This was the alignment that they were going after. They were always going to follow the Michigan State model. And I got to be honest with you. The Suns have passed up on who Devin Booker has wanted as the head coach for a few years now. He wanted Kevin Young. They said no. He wanted Chauncey Billups. They said no. Listen, he wanted Jordan Ott. They said yes. According to Shams Charania, this was Devin Booker's top choice to be the head coach. So if you want to blame Mat Ishbia and you want to blame Brian Gregory, go right on ahead and do so. But you're going to have to blame Devin Booker too. He was on board with this. And Jordan Ott is someone who has earned the right to be a head coach. He's been an assistant in a lot of different places. He's a grinder. He was set to coach the Cavs Summer League team this year. You don't have to do that. The guy loves ball. Listen, is it a risk? Yeah. Were the Suns in a position to be able to take a risk? Not really. No, they weren't. But they saw their guy. They felt impressed by him. He was kind of blocked by Johnny Bryant to ever be the top assistant in Cleveland because Johnny Bryant kind of had that job set in stone. And they went with Jordan Ott. And to be fair, guys, we got to stop acting like we know these assistants better than the people that are hiring them. Jordan Ott might have wowed Mat Ishbia, might have wowed Josh Bartelstein, might have wowed Brian Gregory. You might not like the guys who are doing the interviewing, but he might have wowed everyone. I don't know. I haven't been in the rooms. I can only talk to the sourcing that I have, more just people that cover the team and ask them about it. Again, I'm not Shams Charania, and I'm not going to cosplay like I'm an insider. But from what I've heard from guys that I respect, Jordan Ott's a grinder. They really like him. Jordan Ott is my guy, Danny Cunningham's guy who covers the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was well-versed on both sides of the basketball. Listen, the best coaches in the NBA, you can never tell what side of the ball they focus the most on. I don't know what Spoelstra does. I don't know what Joe Mazzulla does. I don't know what Steve Kerr does. I just know that they're really good at their jobs. I don't know what they lean into. So I would go ahead and preface to everyone that Jordan Ott deserves to have a chance. And listen, I get it if you're a Suns fan. The Brian Gregory thing scarred you because he wasn't qualified for the job. And he just got it because he was Mat Ishbia's fraternity brother. Jordan Ott isn't that guy. He's a grinder. He's more than qualified for this job. And I'm going to ask you to give it a chance. Brian Gregory, I understand. You didn't want to give it a chance. He wasn't qualified. I get it. Jordan Ott has earned the right to be here. And from the people that I've talked to who cover the Cavs, they rave about Jordan Ott. They say he's a grinder. He does both sides of the ball really well. And what did I just mention a second ago? I don't know what Steve Kerr, Eric Spoelstra, and Joe Mazzulla, what their specialty is. I just know that they're really good head coaches. Johnny Bryant, I know he's more of an offensive guy. Jordan Ott, I don't know. Sounds like he had his hand in both things. Give it a shot. I'm not asking you to blindly support the Phoenix Suns in their so suspect hiring processes, but Jordan Ott has earned a shot. He's earned a shot to be the next Phoenix Suns head coach, and I'm not in the rooms, and you're not in the rooms. He could be wowing everyone. Schematics, X's and O's, he might just be incredibly witty. My guy Donnie Joan in the chat, the Phoenix Spartans. It's very funny. I go by the Michigan State Suns, buddy. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's a good hire because Devin Booker, Mat Ishbia, Brian Gregory, we've talked about that alignment. This is what they wanted. So I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say the Suns got the right guy. Not trying to be a hot take artist, not trying to be a contrarian, but let's call it what it is. The Suns have told you over and over what they want to do. They want to have total alignment. That was their buzzword. And guess what? This was Devin Booker's top guy. This was Mat Ishbia's top guy. And this was Brian Gregory's top guy. Everyone top to bottom knows what they're getting. And the Suns have passed up on what Devin Booker wanted before. Whether it was Kevin Young, whether it was Chauncey Billups. He is owed the right to have a much larger say in the head coaching process. You can argue Kevin Young, Sweet 16 with BYU as the number one recruit next year in college basketball, and Chauncey Billups, who just got a contract extension, might have been the right hires over Frank Vogel and Mike Budenholzer. So it is what it is, guys. You can be frustrated by it. You could be the dumb fan accounts that talk about how stupid the Suns are and how everything's going to hell in a handbasket, or you can give it a shot. And I would encourage you to give it a shot. Jordan Ott has earned the right to be a head coach. You are not in the rooms. I'm not in the rooms. He might be wowing everyone. He doesn't have a specialty. He doesn't come with I'm a defensive-minded guy. He doesn't come with I'm an offensive-minded guy. He knows both pretty well. And from the people that I've talked to, pretty smart guy. Johnny Bryant was probably more NBA ready. And if I'm being honest with you, Jordan Ott wasn't a top 5 hire for me. But again, I'm not in the rooms. So I'm going to say it's a good hire. I'm going to say the Suns did the right thing, supported Devin Booker, and ultimately decided this is where they're going to go. And if I'm being honest, guys, there's worse colleges to emulate. There just is. Arizona State, Chattanooga, Wichita State. There's worse colleges. Michigan State's got a natty. They've been to the big dance a few times. Listen, you could be frustrated, but I would say you probably should stick it out, mull it over for a couple of days. I'm into the hire. I'm all in. I'm not looking at the Michigan State graduate thing as much as the next guy. I'm not going to act like I'm someone who isn't aware that there's nepotism in the world. Listen, my guy Donnie Drew in the chat, who's making fun of me, making fun of Wichita State right now, Arizona Cardinals on SI. Listen, that's another media member that could tell you right here and then, we get passed up all the time that we're more qualified for someone else to get a job, but they get it because they know them or they have a connection with someone else. Guys, I'm unemployed right now. This is what I do full time because I don't have a regular job right now. I get passed up for jobs all the time because I don't have a connection to someone else who might know the boss or been to college with the boss as well. The Brian Gregory thing and the Jordan Ott thing, you need to separate. One guy has earned the right to be a head coach. The other one has not. He just hasn't, guys. One guy, and they both have Michigan State ties. One was hired solely on nepotism. The other one got an edge because he knew Ishbia's college better than the other guy. Listen, this happens all the time. And it's not just me and my guy Donnie in the chat. You've been passed up for jobs as well because the owner knew someone a little bit better. They were unqualified than you, but they knew them personally. So I'm sick of overall the hand-wringing, guys. I'm sick of the pearl clutching. And if I cursed on this show, I'd use the B word, but I don't do that here. Keep it real. I'm sick of it. Give it a shot. And it's very clear we have clarity now. Ishbia runs the show. It isn't anyone else. It's not Brian Gregory. It's not anyone else. It's Ishbia. Ishbia's running the show for better or for worse. And you know what? At times, we didn't know what the Suns were doing. We didn't know if who was running the show. And it's nice to have clarity now that we know who does. It's Ishbia. And they're going to follow the Michigan State model. All right? You still have an owner that's going to spend a lot of money. And this idea that Robert Sarver was better, he wasn't. He just wasn't. Didn't treat people right. Was, misogynistic, potentially racist. I don't want to throw that word around like crazy because, it's a terrible, you don't want to just go after someone with that. But Ishbia is a fine owner. He's going to bring in his guys that he should have done from the get-go. This should have been done 4 years ago, guys, or 2.5 years ago. Ishbia, if he was going to make his guys, he should have fired everyone and done it then. But he didn't. That's all this is now. Ishbia is implementing his minions that should have been done a while ago. So, I think it's a fine hire, guys. And even if they hired Johnny Bryant or Chris Quinn, just got to be fair. You don't know these guys. I don't know these guys. You know just about as much as Jordan Ott as you did about the other two guys. You just like Chris Quinn better because heat culture. But he could have failed. Prodigies fail all the time. All the time in this job market. Or in the coaching market. So, ultimately, all I can do is I can rip the hire to shreds, guys. I can. But anyone can do that. I think it's lazy. Jordan Ott was not my first hire. He wasn't on my top 5 list of guys I would have hired. But after talking with some people and looking at his qualifications, he might be the right guy for the job. He might be. And I'm not going to take the Michigan State thing too much to heart. I just don't care that much. Brian Gregory, I did. Didn't have the qualifications. Jordan Ott has it. So I get being upset. I get being annoyed. But, guys, this is what it is. Mike Budenholzer, you didn't want him. Frank Vogel, you didn't want him. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I think Jordan Ott's going to get a really long runway. Because this is Mat Ishbia's guy. This is Brian Gregory's guy. I think you're looking at least 3 years with Jordan Ott as the Phoenix Suns head coach. They're not just going to move on. They're not just going to move on from him. They're going to give this guy a lot of leeway. And you can't move on from 4 coaches in 4 years. You just can't do that. So, I get it. I get being upset, but it is what it is. We got to roll with the punches. It's going to be a really frustrating day on X and social media, and a bunch of people are going to act like they know who Jordan Ott is instead of being honest. They don't know. I don't know. I have some conversations with people that know him. I've watched some interviews. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we're flying blind, and we would have been flying blind regardless of who the hire was. So, Jordan Ott, new Suns head coach. And guys, at the end of the day, come on, it is a little funny. Another Michigan State guy. Like, I know people like to get upset. I laugh. You either cry or you learn to laugh. And I think it's kind of funny. So, We've got a new head coach. Jordan Ott is the guy, and I appreciate you guys being here. I'm live every morning, Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m., 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, breaking down all Arizona sports, Cardinals, Diamondbacks, Suns, Sun Devils. I appreciate you guys being here. Guys, do me a favor. This is my second show of the day. Hit the like button for me. Leave a comment. Tell me why you love me. Tell me why you hate me. Share the show. Potentially even tell a friend. And as well as follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show, and be on the lookout for Locked On Phoenix Suns tonight. Brendan Clean and I will break down everything much more nitty-gritty than I did now. This is purely, solely just a reaction. But tonight, Locked On Phoenix Suns will have more stuff. We'll be on there and give our unfiltered opinions as well, bouncing it off each other. But follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, potentially even tell a friend about the Ben Garcia Show. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 a.m. for your normal, regularly scheduled program, Ben Garcia Show. I'll see you guys then.